Hello, this is Mesos Orem, and welcome to Understanding S.F.M.L. Today, we'll be learning about the mouse and keyboard classes. The keyboard function is key pressed. We'll just do what it says. It'll check if a key is pressed down. Scan codes will return keys based on the QWERTY AT101 keyboard, meaning if you have a different selected keyboard layout, this will not match up. Meanwhile, keyboard key would match up with that selected keyboard. I've selected a different keyboard layout. If we open the debug menu and we press the S button, it'll say it's pressed. If we press the Z button, it won't say it's pressed until we press the button that Z is mapped to. The keyboard function delocalize will return a scan code based on the selected keyboard layout. Meanwhile, the keyboard function localize will return a key based on the AT101 QWERTY keyboard. With that selected keyboard, if we open the debug menu and we press the S button, nothing will happen. If we press the button that S is mapped to, it'll say it's pressed. And if we press the Z button, it'll say it's also pressed. The keyboard function getDescription will return a string based on any input scan code. So if we open the debug menu, it'll say that our scan code is C. Here, if we open the debug menu, it'll say that our key is enter. Key count will return how many keys are an SF keyboard key, plus 1 for any unknown keys. The same goes for scan code count, but for scan codes. If we open the debug menu, we can see that S.F.M.L has a possible key count of 101 and a possible scan code count of 146. The keyboard function setVirtualKeyboardVisible will show your virtual keyboard if your system supports it. Mine, however, does not, so if we open the debug menu, nothing will happen for me. The event subtype mouse wheel scrolled is what it says. It is when our mouse is being scrolled, while delta is how much our mouse is being scrolled and in what direction. So if we open the debug menu and we scroll our mouse, it'll say what direction and how fast we are scrolling our mouse. The event subtype mouse entered is when the mouse initially enters the screen. So if we open the debug menu and we enter the screen with the mouse, it'll say it's entered the screen. Meanwhile, the event subtype mouse left is when the mouse initially leaves the screen. Finally, for events, if a mouse button is being pressed, this subtype will be true. So if we open the debug menu and we press any button on the mouse, it'll say that a mouse button is being pressed. Mouse button count is how many buttons that S.F.M.L supports for a mouse, which happens to be 5, so if we open the debug menu, we'll get back a 5. The mouse function isButtonPress checks if any input mouse button is being pressed. So if we open the debug menu and we click the left mouse button, it'll say that it's being pressed. The window function mapCoordstoPixel will map any input coordinates to a pixel based on our window's current view. So if we open the debug menu, it'll return to us pixel 394 by 42. Here, if we input our window into getPosition, we can get our position relative to our window instead of our screen. Finally, the window function mapPixelsToCoords will map a given pixel to coordinates based on our window's current view. So if we open the debug menu and we move our mouse around, we will get coordinates based on our window's view. Thank you for joining me today. If you did, then please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a great day.